We're back now with 5-time Super Bowl champion, 3-time NFL MVP, and 16-time Patriots team captain, New England quarterback Tom Brady, who's now at the center of the new doc series, Tom versus Time. Mr. Brady, thank you for joining me, man.
It's good to be with you.
Boy, I've thrown up a lot of numbers there.
I know. It's because I've been around a long time.
You've been around quite a bit. You've done a few things in the game. You've been around quite a bit, and you've accomplished quite a bit in your career so far. And I want to take you back to not so long ago, Super Bowl 52.
Yep.
Final chapter of your docuseries focuses on your time after that game, and you experienced something we both experienced, a loss in the big game.
Yeah.
What was going through your mind after that loss, after the game?
Well, I think it's a process you got to deal with. It's so great to be in that game, but to win that game is very tough. And we had a couple close losses to the Giants, unfortunately, and then another one against the Eagles. So I think you realize the sun comes up the next morning and your life goes on, but those games live with you for the rest of your life. And that's part of being an athlete. That's part of being in a very competitive sport. And it's tough to win that game. So I'm proud of our efforts throughout the year. Overcame a lot of adversity like you always need to do in order to get to that game. Mm-hmm. But, just came up a little bit short.
Well, the thing about you, after the season, you always talk about the next season immediately. You don't bask in the glow of winning or in the agony of the defeat. So have you started thinking about next season already?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think it's just, processing what happened last season and how you could be better the next season. I don't think it's, there's no real formula for it. I think every year is a little bit different. There's different things that are happening in your life outside of football, and my kids are getting older. And I think one thing that's gotten a little challenging as you get older is there's just different priorities and different commitments. And you've got to be able to allocate your time the right way. And there's a lot of people that really need your time and attention. And how you find that balance really was a big part of what Tom vs. Time was all about. Trying to find some balance between, my family life and what my kids need and what my wife need. And, what my football team needs.
But I remember at a dinner with Giselle, with your wife, and she came up to me and said, Michael, you need to talk to my husband. I'm like, for what?
I know.
Because when I met him, he said he wanted to play 10 more years.
I know.
She goes, I've been with him for 5 years, and he still says he wants to play 10 more years.
I know.
And that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
You still say you want to play 5 more years.
Yeah. I wasn't a great math student back then, so I tried to tell her, she's right. I did say that because, when we met, I was, 29, 30 years old. Mm-hmm. And I thought, man, if I could get to 40, it'd be amazing. And it'd be a great career. In 18 years in the NFL, and learned a lot. And it's been such a great love for me. I love the sport. I love the competition. I love my teammates. I love working with people that I love to work with. And so that part's really hard to give up, especially when I feel like I could do it. And I look around the league and I see these other quarterbacks. And I'm thinking, man, I could do what they do. And I want to continue to do it as best I can because it's really brings a lot of joy to my life.
And, you have your wife, you have your kids, you have to find that balance. When it does become time to retire, how much does that factor into your decision?
Well, that would be a big part of it. I think you can't make decisions necessarily just for yourself. And I think that's one thing I've learned as I've gotten older. There's collateral effects to every decision that I make. And, I have a wife that is very, aspires to be a lot of things, and she travels a lot. And, our kids, my oldest son lives here in New York, and, 3 kids, and you're just always trying to juggle, and you want to be there for them, and you want to be there for the hockey games and the soccer games. And, but you also realize the level of commitment it takes to give as much as you can to the team that needs you. So, again, I think you're always trying to find that. I think most professionals probably feel the same way. Sometimes it gets out of balance, and you got to figure out how to, bring it back to a point where it feels great for everybody involved.
Well, you've found a lot of balance. You've had a lot of success, as I said. And we're going to look at an exclusive clip from the final episode of Tom vs. Time.
Great.
Let's check you out.
Daddy, let's read this.
Read this, Daddy.
It says Minnesota.
Super Bowl, Papa. Minnesota Super Bowl.
Daddy, you know what I'm eating?
Hot chocolate.
Chocolate, got it.
Oh my gosh.
Daddy, we're here to make you win.
Yeah, you are. You're going to help Daddy win.
Yes.
You're going to cheer so loud.
Yes, we are.
I mean, it's nothing like your family.
No.
Nothing like your family. And we get to see the real you.
Yeah.
I think everybody has this perception of you as a football player, and everyone thinks, they know Tom Brady, but they know you as a player. We get to see behind the everything else with the family. How was it for you to put your kids on TV to let everybody see your life away from the field?
Well, I think it was a great experience for me because I got to share a lot of things that a lot of fans never get a chance to see, and I think there's always a balance between a private life and a public life, and I think I chose a very public profession. So with the amount of fans that have really enjoyed the show, when I reflect back and think about the decision to do it, I think what a great decision because so many people have come up to me and said thanks for doing that. It was really cool to see, and a lot of young athletes were inspired by the level of work it takes to get to a certain point in your career, and I think that's been a great payoff for me. It was hard work. We spent a lot of time last off season and this season a little bit of time, but it was really it turned into me really a great series.
Well, I'll tell you what, even watching it for myself, I was surprised at the amount of work that it takes for you to get ready for each season and the drive that you have to do it. And we're not done with you. You're going to come back a little bit later. We're going to talk to you a little bit more. But we got more with Tom Brady coming up. Don't go anywhere. We're going to go over to Cecilia.
All right, guys. Thanks. We'll be watching that for sure.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.